Hey bookworms, welcome back to my cozy corner of the internet. Today we are going to join in on the quarter year crisis tag. First and foremost, my apologies for the crazy lighting. It has been super cloudy all day and this is like the best of the worst. So we're just gonna keep rolling with it. I've never done a book tag before, so I thought this would be a lot of fun. Book tag was created by Rosin's Reading and I've linked their channel down below. All right, so the first question is, how many books have you read so far this year? Right now, I'm at 22 books, but we're kind of in the middle of April. So if I'm just going from the beginning of the year to the end of March, which would be the first quarter, I read 18 books. And honestly, that's kind of a lot for me. I don't think I've ever done that, read 18 books in 3 months. I think last year I really started reading a ton, and that kind of picked up a lot of momentum. I also think that obviously because I'm doing booktube, I'm reading a lot more, and I do feel like I've kind of got some systems in place where it kind of helps me find some more reading time, and also just the season that I'm in, I can read a little bit more than maybe some others. I feel like when I had like a baby and I wasn't sleeping at all through the night, like any spare moment was for sleep. So I certainly would not be reading 18 books a month or 18 books in 3 months. It's a long-winded way to say 18 in 3 months. I think it can be easy to look at the number of books you've read as like, oh gosh, this person's read 100 books, this person's read 5 books. There's always going to be someone that's read more books than you, and there's always going to be someone that's read less books than you. It's just about your personal reading journey and what number feels good to you. And if you're reading books that you want to read, then there you go. Literally doesn't matter how many. All right, the second question is, have you found a book that you think is going to be your 2024 favorite, or basically the closest to 5 stars? I would say I've definitely read a handful of really, really good books this year, but the one that sticks out to me as one that I kind of think about a lot, and I think might end up being my favorite book of the year thus far, would be Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Just really loved it. I thought it was just really whimsical and cute, and I liked the banter between the characters. And I liked how the main character was really intelligent, and just the whole life of the Fae and the fantasy part of it. I thought it was really, really good. I thought it was really well written, and I really enjoyed reading it, almost to the point where I wanted to finish it because I wanted to know what would happen, but I also didn't want it to end. I just really enjoyed it. If you want a more in-depth review of Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, I kind of did more in my February wrap-up, which I'll certainly link down below. The light I'm using literally just died, so everyone's fingers crossed that we can get through this video. Right, the next question is, any 1-star books or least favorite books of the year? Yes. If you watched my Goodreads Top 100 video and my March wrap-up, you know that I was not the biggest fan of Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn. I don't know what happened. I know that I didn't like it, and I know that it's a well-loved book by a lot of people. Maybe it's just a me thing, because a lot of people do love that book, but I was not impressed. I thought I would like it a lot more. Definitely be that one. I also think the Atlas 6, I'll talk more about this in my wrap-up for this month. I don't want to say it's 1 star, but I was surprised by how much I didn't really like it. I honestly just think that maybe dark academia is not my genre. The second kind of dark academia book that I've read, and both of them, I didn't hate them. I didn't necessarily enjoy my time reading it, so I don't think it's the genre for me. All right, and then the next question is my most read genre so far. So far I've read the most romance books. I've read 6 romance books this year, and a close second to that would be 4 general fiction books and then 4 mystery and thriller books. I think that they'll probably surpass romance by the time the end of the year is up, since I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break from the romance books that I'm reading. A book that surprised you? Definitely American Sherlock. I did not expect to like that book as much as I did. It's a nonfiction book. It follows the life of Oscar Heinrich and goes through how he came up with a lot of things that people use like in CSI today, and the murders that he attempted to help solve or that he did solve. And I remember getting the book and thinking like, I'm not gonna like this, but I'll read it because it's our book club choice, and I was shocked. I think that's probably going to end up also being one of my favorite books of the year, and it caused me to take out All That Is Wicked by Kate Winkler Dawson as well, just because I loved it so much. I loved her style of writing. I loved the way she went through the nonfiction part of it. I just loved it. I loved the research she put into it. Definitely was a surprise. All right, a book that came out in 2024 that you have not read but that you want to read, I would say that would be Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands. Like I said, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies was probably one of my favorite books that I've read so far this year. It's definitely, I can see it being a top contender for my favorite book of 2024. And the second book in the sequel came out, I think, in January. I'm definitely looking forward to reading that one and hope that I can read it pretty soon. I also talked about Everyone on This Train is a Suspect in my mystery and thriller ranking video, which I'm also really excited to read that one. Real like whodunit mystery. So I think that one will be really, really good. I read Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson, and he's the one that wrote Everyone on This Train is a Suspect. So I think that one will be really, really good too. So those two are definitely on my list to hopefully get to by the end of this year. All right, one reading goal that you made that you are succeeding on. I would say for sure it's the nonfiction books. I have already read 2 nonfiction and I'm more than halfway through my 3rd one. So my goal at the beginning of 2024 was just to read 4 nonfiction books. I figured I'd read like 1 a quarter. The first quarter I read 2 and I'm halfway through 1 more. I definitely feel like I'll meet that and probably surpass it, which is pretty cool because I don't think I read a lot of nonfiction last year. Nonfiction is such a large genre. Like so many different pieces in the nonfiction. Like there's self-help and productivity, or there's things like American Sherlock and All That Is Wicked. It's telling a story, but it's a nonfiction story, or like parenting books. So there's just like a wide range of nonfiction. And I'm happy that this year I've been reading more of those and I've kind of expanded the genres that I'm reading. One goal that I need to focus on is rereading the Harry Potter series. So I really set a goal for myself to reread the Harry Potter series this year just because I wanted to reread it. I have not read a single one. And they don't take me a long time to read. So I know realistically if I started like the last few months of the year, I'd be just fine and I'd be able to finish it. I feel like I should probably read a couple of them before we get to the halfway point of the year. Otherwise, I'm not sure I'll finish it. I really wanted to do was like read a book and watch the movie. We'll see. If I start now, yeah, I can do that. If I start in November, I don't think that will happen. Or maybe it will. Who knows? I guess stick around and see what happens in November as I'm frantically reading all of the Harry Potter books and watching all 8 movies. And the last question is new to you booktubers that you recommend in 2024. A few that I've just started watching this year would be Jesse the Reader. I just discovered his channel this year and I've really been enjoying watching it. I really like his take on books. I feel like he's not necessarily reading what everyone else I see is reading, and I think sometimes like the really popular booktubers, which is fine, you just end up seeing a lot of the same books. And so I've been kind of on a mission, since I'm also a smaller channel, to look at some smaller channels, these channels that I know are reading different types of books. I've really been enjoying his channel and kind of the way he does videos, so I definitely recommend checking him out. And then the next one is Book Mama. So I follow Angie on there. I think we kind of have a pretty similar reading style. So I've been enjoying watching her videos, and I like the perspective of another mom that's reading and is on BookTube. I haven't found like too many channels like that, so I've just been really enjoying her channel. Those are the 2 that I've kind of found this year and that I've been trying to watch a lot more of. If you have any other recommendations for booktubers you think I should check out, please leave them down below. I'm definitely new to the booktube community, so I want to watch and subscribe to as many as I can. Let me know in the comments below, how is your first quarter of reading going? Have you hit your reading goals? Are there any goals that you are just completely running through, and then some that you haven't even started, like me rereading the Harry Potter series? Are you hoping to get done the last 3 quarters of the year? What books are on your TBR? Love to hear it. If you enjoy this, please make sure you like and subscribe. I post new videos every single week, and I've also got a monthly newsletter, which I will link down below. It's got a freebie attached to it to say thank you for signing up. It's really fun. I enjoyed doing this, so I definitely think I'll be doing it in the future, and I will certainly see you next time. Cheers.